a lot less problems.
Be specific.
Yeah, exactly.
I want 4 sockets in every room with one light. You never told me that. No, it's 50 quid more per room. Oh, I want 250 quid, and you're like, what? No. Not sure if you're gonna have a problem because you'll just be like, don't don't make me, bro.
Hey.
Bro.
Done. Already know it's the one and only MVP. My main man, Sean Land here, helping me out, kind of learning and educating me on his background, taking me to one of his properties, showing me exactly what he's going to be doing here, exactly how he's doing it, things to think about when doing it for myself, because it's definitely an area, I think, for everybody that needs to get into property or wants to get into property. But following this man is going to make things 10 times easier for yourself, and it's going to cut out a lot of the mistakes that you're probably going to make, push forward and continue. There's always going to be things and headaches, but if you can have somebody that can mentor you, like Sean, to take you through properties like this that you're probably going to want to do for yourself, it's going to help you so much more. And I've already learned a lot just from today. I'm going to be coming back, I'm going to be returning, and you're going to see me doing it for my own properties very soon. Nice one, let's go.
So before I even go inside, I'll just let you know what's sort of been done and what's the objective. Normally you'd buy something, the whole purpose is to add some sort of value to it, yeah? And to do that is you either got to remodel it or modernize it or make it look better, yeah? So that's why we've got it at a discount, for example. So with this one, I've knocked out 6 chimneys already. Yeah, I've sold the bricks, replastered the whole place already. Brand new electric. So
sorry, when you got it, how many, what was it? How many bedrooms? And
yeah, so at the moment it's a 3-bedroom house, but we've turned it into a 5-bed because 2 of the rooms downstairs are extra bedrooms, and one of the rooms upstairs, actually, we've turned it into an office. So it's like a little bit quirky. So if somebody wants to rent the office and say, I want to work from home and this is a kitted out place, then we can charge a little bit extra, or a more utilized place, really, if that makes sense. Yeah. Let's start. So our decorator's already starting on this. He's done a bit of the back. You've got to imagine the whole property was like this, dark and dingy. If you can see here, this is where the chimneys were. And if you can see that pattern, that's how much it was.
Taking up a lot of space.
Now taking it back, even a bed, double bed can go in here, whereas before the double bed will be out here and you're nearly near the door. This could be as a bedroom on a normal. I'm actually going to make it into a nice living room and a baby area on the next, like a little nursery on the next one, purely because I'm doing this one for a care unit. So I'm only going to have 3 families in here. And as you can see, there's the smoke alarm in every room, 1 pendant light, and I've got sockets on every wall.
Like I said, you lifted that. Is that one?
Yes. The other ones were too low, so these are new electrics. That's why you can see it's not even dried yet. That's dry, that's not, because we've put bond in before. And I put some of these special ones so people can put their USB. So them ones cost 3 quid, £2.95, and they cost 10 quid. So you don't want every single socket USB. You just maybe one utilization and the rest just put normal play ones. That will bring your cost down. Also, these bricks are sold, most of them. So
what do you sell those bricks back to? Who do you sell it to?
So you call the builder's yard and you say, I've got London stocks. Send them a picture. If it's the right colour, they go, yeah, that's fine. We'll give you 70p a brick. They sell it for £1.50 and they take it to like central London or something like that and use it for the buildings out there. So when you got HMO, you need fire doors, you need lock that side. This is thumb lock. It's just in case they lose their key, they can get out in emergency. And here is, you have these fire strips. They're like fur strips. I don't know if you've seen them before. But
no. What's the purpose of those?
Here you go. It's these. So it'll be these. So when it's closed shut, even a fire can't get through the little gaps. It gives you at least 30 minutes. So when somebody's hitting out one of these doors, he'll know the hinges, the locks, the self-closer that automatically pushes the door closed, and these thumb locks, they'll know. It'll probably cost you about £350 to £500 for supply and fit per door. So imagine 5 doors, all of a sudden you're spending 2.5 grand.
Sorry.
What do you mean?
program? Because it's very...
Yeah, this is Ren. Ren sends you this. They got some really,
So
really
then they
advanced.
obviously is based on the measurements that...
Yeah.
Do you send it into them or...?
Yeah. So when I sit with them, this is what you need to do. So where you know you want your kitchen, I've got to measure that wall to the edge here before it curves. And I've got to measure to that door. So I basically just draw a rectangle like that. And from here, from there to there, I'll send them the measurement rather than trying to break all of this up and
so
refit and all of this.
Easier.
I've got to put it straight into the mixer, mix it, and they're getting on with their work straight away. So the guys, I'm going to get them to put it, I think, here, so then it doesn't block their way here. And once they get the level there, they could even leave this little bit and carry on that side. And then once the materials are down, then and I'm going to have a shed here. So it's going to be a 4x3 shed.
It's at the back.
Yeah, so it's going to be 1, 2. Shed's going to probably come about here. I won't need a base to support it because this is already concrete and it's going to be already strong. So sometimes when you put a shed down, you need a concrete base they charge you for. Otherwise it starts sinking and moving. There's already a thick black armored cable, it's called, and I'm going to run it from that room. It's going to come from the cellar underneath, out of that room, and come all the way down here. And the other guys, I'll tell them to make sure it's boxed in and the slabs go sort of on top.
Every exit.
So as at the top of the stairs, there's an exit, bang,
Same
break
again.
that. And them 2 rooms, they can break
Same
that
again.
before they come out. Same thing here. There was a chimney.
Same thing from downstairs.
And what you need to do is you need to go into the loft, and you then need to support the rest of the chimney that comes out of the building. So what you need to do, there needs to be gallows brackets that come out and a metal bracket that sits right underneath where you've taken the chimney out from.
So that doesn't come down.
And then you just pack it in, and then you also plaster that chimney with sand cement to make sure it's really rock solid so it doesn't ever
Could you go
collapse.
upstairs?
That once this is up and running and you're turning over 50, 60 a month, then when I get the planning done for there, it doesn't need as much of a renovation, but I might just put lawful development for a loft conversion straight away. And when I'm doing it, just lift the whole roof off, get my guys within 12 days to get the whole dormer done, get my plumbers in, carpenters, and make an extra room. Then I might be able to get 4 families.
That's what I'm thinking, in terms of that,
Makes sense, isn't it? Because that's...
Is there any loft conversions around here?
Next door. Next door's done a loft conversion. I don't know if it's 2.5 weeks if you're around.
I'll come back again, definitely.
When you see it, it's all covered and I can see it already.
No, of course.
Time and time again.
I was going to say, like, when you've done it so many times, even little things like you say about painting just before, and you're already ahead of the game like that.
You just got to know what expensive. I wasn't always this guy, bro.
No, of course, experience.
Yes. Let's stand outside.
I couldn't always avoid punches, but...
So these are just going to be the smoke alarms, but we don't want dust to go in there because they'll be fucked. And then this is the fire panel system.
That's going to be on that wall there,
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it looks like.
So I need to learn how to use this to demonstrate to Ofsted that I know how to use it.
You have to actually...
Yeah, because I'm going to be the RI, so I'm going to be the responsible individual in this house, because this is going to be sort of...
Okay.
I'm going to come twice a week here to make sure that
to do it, you have to be... That's how frequent you have to come.
I'm either going to spend 40,000 on someone else doing this.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or I come here twice a week.
Yeah.
Or a Zoom call with my manager and just check all the due diligence is done. All the paperwork's done. All my kids are safe for mother and baby units. And then I can almost be sort of a consultant myself. So this is the bit I'd like you to ask me some questions in your head, what comes to mind. And if I can answer them, anything, no question is just a silly question.
I don't even have anything. You kind of explain a lot, like really well. It's weird because of a friend of mine, Yinka. I've been to a lot of his like projects and stuff, and he'll come and explain.
You got to always understand, it's not a them problem or you problem. It's just you need to work in synergy.
Yeah.
He has a pattern in his head. You have one. You have a vision in your head.
Yeah.
You got to give them your vision. Get it done in black and white. I'm not sure if you're gonna have a problem because you'll just be like, don't make me, bro.
Hey. Get it done.
What did he say? You've got that punch. That's what Ed was saying. Ed was going, I was, his dad told me, give him everything you have and stuff like that, yeah. And for me, like when I'm fighting MVP, the only thing, I don't care if I lose, I just don't want to get caught by that punch. And he goes, he dodged it, and that was a win for him, bro. We gave you a massive shout out right at the start. I was like, so what's it like with him?
Yeah.
When he punches you, yeah, it hurts, but when he's like, are you alright? He goes, yeah, and then you just, it's like he does something internally.
That is funny, because that's why my friend was saying about like the nickname Venom, because he said it wasn't necessarily just the punch itself, it was how skinny you are, and then the effect was just didn't make sense. Like people, like you say, people was kind of like, that's for someone so slim.
Yeah, it's just that sting.
The sting was
you've
there.
Done something.
But Ez, he's an amazing like martial artist himself. I don't know if he played that up, but he's an exceptional martial artist.
Because he said he's kickboxing champion 7 times. I asked him, have you met Andrew Tate? Because he was a kickboxing champion.
Yeah,
have you ever seen him?
I've sparred him a few times.
You sparred him?
Yeah.
Really?
He's come down to our gym, sparred.
Is he that good though?
He's heavy-handed. I've been around kickboxing a long time, so I know a lot of people that are way better than him. And not in a disrespectful way, just a lot of people that were just better than him. So when he came to the gym and he sparred, I was like, yeah, he's okay. Yeah. But it wasn't anything like to be like, oh my God, like. But he's heavy-handed and he knows how to strike. He's a competent kickboxer. You know what I mean? He had a rough time at ours. He had a rough time.
Yeah, but he's done well with the branding and stuff.
The guy's exceptionally smart. His dad was even more so.
Yeah.
I think he just taken his dad's mindset and fit it to modern day, living, and it's made.
He's very fast, witty.
Oh, he's like I said, and that comes from intelligence. But again, his dad was the first black chess master. So again, he comes from a good place. Of like good mind, so he just knows how to fit it. He also knows how to antagonize people a certain way to get the response he wants, and then he just set everything up really well. But in terms of what he says, like I know he's controversial, but when you break down and cut past the bullshit, he does explain things very well, and there is a lot of reasoning behind whether you agree or disagree. It's not just random words spat out. He does know how to kind of articulate himself to a certain degree to where he can prove a point really well.
I can work well with you. I'm mentoring my little nephew. He's only 19, and already he's coming to my house tonight from Peterborough. He goes, I've seen some properties in Leeds.
Nice.
Can we just get started? He's saved 20 grand already because he's working on the trains. And I was like, yeah, we're going to get started. So he's another one I'm really passionate about helping, because he's like, you've done it, Mama G. I've seen you grow the last 20, 25 years, and you were there and you're there. And I was like, one, we're still the same people. I want you to always stay humble. Money doesn't make you. But two, anything you want, you can do it. Just can't believe it. It's just the same thing in the ring. If you want to get up there champion, you just got to train for it, eat for it, spar for 100%. It. You're there, 100%. Innit?